Okay, some of the this is basically just the post uh, evaluation or post interview of how my team leader observation went, team leader meeting, how it went. One of the things I've noticed was I probably could have been more maybe sort of professional. I felt like some of the times I had too much sarcasm or the tone of my voice probably wasn't very serious for the most part. I think it was just probably I was just nervous or really didn't uh, maybe didn't feel confident in the material that I was probably presenting. So I think I kind of just fell back to the natural deflect and try to get out of it by using kind of sarcasm or maybe play it off a little bit. But I think that's something I definitely need to address as a future leader, just to make sure that if I'm presenting important information, just to make sure I present it with a certain type of demeanor to make sure that the staff is aware that this is an important event and making sure they take it seriously and making sure that the staff is aware of the importance of the information I'm presenting itself. Um, Other than that, again, it's hard for me to actually see myself as a superior to these coworkers of mine because we're on the same team. We naturally we feed off each other for help. We don't usually see the other one as a superior for the most part. I think that was probably one of the biggest obstacles I had as far as presenting the information to my coworkers because we're so what's the word? So close knit. We're so very informal as far as when we plan or when we talk to each other. It's very casual encounters. It's not very uh, strict. It's not very uh, boss and worker kind of relationship. So I think that was kind of one of the hardest things for me to switch that mind frame where I can actually be in that leadership role and make sure I bring a certain presence to when I present the information to make sure that um, I give off a different demeanor to view my position or my my point of view that I'm coming from more seriously. Um, One of the things I talked about with the team leader post meeting or after, or kind of just a debrief of the team leader meeting after I did the observation. It was talking about the budget, and she actually gave me a copy of the budget here for the next school year coming up, or just as the budget for the delegated grades. And I feel like that's probably one of my weakest areas I probably need to work on is probably um, budget money in general. This is my sixth year teaching, and I've always tried to just avoid money in general. I don't like touching it. I don't like being responsible for it. I don't like kids handing it to me if it's for something, even like picture money. I try not to uh, take responsibility because I feel like I don't know, money is probably just a sensitive subject just with um, people more hands it exchanged, I feel like the more responsibility that is given to. I feel like I don't like having that kind of burden put on me or responsibility. But I feel like as if I want to grow as a leader, grow as a person, I probably have to change that mind frame going forward. Anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna address the budget. I feel like that was something she talked about with me that I could probably use in another role or leadership role that I'll be more confident in. Just the actual way the budget is used and how it's delegated for the most part. Um, the grade level budget, so each grade level will essentially get $1,500 each, K through 5. And these are, again, they're for supplies. Each grade level, K through 5, may submit a separate order for like weekly readers, like Time for Kids, Social Studies Weekly. That won't come out of your $1,500 budget, which is kind of cool. It's kind of just another resource you get to use in the classroom, and it's not taken out of your budget. Pre-K, they're being allotted $1,000. Art is $300. PE $500. ESL is getting $200. Our sped department is getting $1,000. Music is getting $1,000, and the librarian is getting $800. Reading and math specialists, they're not included in this budget. They'll be included in a separate account. So Ms. Rodriguez, our administrative assistant, will email them separately. Um, just just looking at the budget in general, I feel like we have a bilingual program, but I guess they're incorporated into the grade level $1,500 budget, because the $200 for the ESL program seemed really low to me, just because we have so many bilingual students on our campus. I just think that $200 is very low, so I'm assuming that's just for the ESL specialist herself and the ESL reading teachers and things like that. Because $200 seems very low for a program that's so big on our campus. Again, the budget is for supplies and materials, as well as any instructional items the grade levels that they want to purchase at the time. Requests for instructional material will be submitted for approval by instructional leadership teams. Ms. Sanford, the assistant principal, and our reading coach, Ms. John. Once they're turned in on April 2nd, 2018, you need to make sure you're being a good steward of what you have, and that you're using instructional materials you have before you place an order for something else. This is a great time to order trade books, science materials, or workstation activities, or anything that will fill a gap and meet a need. I think just being a Title I school, or a title school in general, that the things that teachers spend their money on is very important as far as when it comes to instruction. I feel like for different schools, you can spend money on like decorating classrooms or things you may, school supplies, or just extra things you may need, like dry erase markers or things like that. I feel like as a title school, you kind of want to push the funding towards instructional material, just so that you can close those gaps as far as the at-risk students and eco-disc kids that are struggling at home, that don't have a good home life, that we struggle to get homework back from and things get signed back from, and just being more cognizant of how spending your money is opposed on a title school versus a more affluent school, for the you can say, for the most part. Budget considerations. Again, she addressed what items you could buy. All ink cartridges are not included, which is good. That's for our each grade level kind of has a printer of its own that's not included. So those can get really expensive. You have 2 ink cartridges replaced by us for the school year. This should be enough for the school year. You should not be printing like full sets, class sets, and things like that. And additional toner would be on your budget. It should be ordered from standard office only. So that's one of our vendors that supplies that for us. Before ordering, complete an inventory with your team to see what supplies you really need. No stockpiling. Be good stewards. Again, I think this is just being a title school. You don't want to just stock up on sticky notes and composition notebooks. I think when you're talking to your team, you need to address what you need for instructional purposes, anchor charts, and things like that. I think it's real important to be cognizant of the spending from the admin perspective, just to make sure teachers are using it for their best purposes and not just supplies that they may need. Again, a list of things that they can buy are post-it notes, chart papers, any staplers, tape dispensers, scissors that you may need to replace, construction paper, paper clips, pens, pencils, markers, sharpies, dry erase markers, cardstock, color paper, cases of paper, student incentives, file folders, labels, index cards, rings, or sentence strips, batteries for flashlights or double A's as needed. Flashlights, if you need them for your classroom, toner. If you need more than 2 per year than the ones we're going to provide, you probably won't order that now. Again, a lot of this stuff is just basic supplies you need just to function as a teacher, just to make sure you order those things and have those and stuff. Again, I know a lot of teachers come out of their pocket to buy these things. So, if you can use the budget for more expensive, not more expensive, but more instructional purposes and fund most of these items out of pocket, I think that goes a long way as far as instructional purposes. But then again, if they're going to provide it out, I would take advantage of it as far as buying the things you need for your classroom. Our general budget guidelines, we have 3 standard vendors when it comes to buying these kind of supplies, school supplies or office supplies. So we have Office Depot, Lakeshore, and School Specialty. For any vendor other than School Specialty, Lakeshore, or Office Depot, you need to obtain a quote from the vendor and make sure they are on the approved vendor list. Again, I think this is one of the areas that I'm really weak in. I think vendors and budgets and things like that, I feel like it's such a just the thing you just gotta constantly like jump through hoops just to get something that you want. I feel like if you see something for a better price or a trusted store, I just don't like if Walmart's not a vendor but they have better prices than them. I I don't understand the the logic behind not being able to just buy it from Walmart instead of Office Depot. But again, that's just on me, just being the frugal spender that I am. But I understand it's a process to get money and funds allocated. So to make sure that they're being used properly, it's kind of a tough battle just to make sure um, that people are spending it with the right people and the funds are being allotted properly. Due to our financial software, discounts may be included on each line item instead of at the very end. Assuming some kind of tax write-off, right off the back, right off the bat. Again, being a school, I'm sure we get these vendors get a tax break, or we get a tax break from using government funds for them for the most part. And I think she's just addressing that the discounts will be applied on each item instead of at the end. It says use the blank requisition form attached to this email. All requisition forms are to be emailed to Ms. Rodriguez or Ms. Sanford by April 2nd, 2018. It says always include the page numbers for all catalogs used. Use a separate requisition sheet for each vendor. Do not put in accounting codes. Again, another thing I feel like if I ever become principal or assistant principal or leadership role that involves budget, I feel like I need an administrative assistant that is very on top of things with accounting codes and things like that. I feel like that's probably one of the areas that I'll need to strengthen. It says include the exact price after discounts on the requisitions down to the penny. Be sure to use current 2018 catalog. I have Lake Shore and School Specialties. You may also use the website to browse for your items. Copy paper and construction paper are no longer available through the warehouse. Please use the following information for ordering. Yeah, I think just for this part, the exact penny. I think when I did my shopping, I probably had 22 cents left. I think it's important that they give you a certain amount of budget to make sure that you use the whole thing and use it wisely. Um, I think we as teachers take for granted the money that we're given. So I mean, some teachers will just spend a certain amount of their budget and not use the rest of it. And sometimes other teachers aren't aware that they need something, and other teachers may need something, and that they could have used that to order for them, or just things like that. Just being knowledgeable of what's going on around you, or being considerate of the other teacher's needs. If you feel like you're not going to use it, just make sure that you're spreading that information to make sure that when the teacher needs something instructional wise, that you can pass that on for them. Talk about copy paper from Office Depot. Again, there's a lot of stuff I'm not familiar with. It says use the item number below to get the best pricing. Paper order codes for Office Depot. It says the Fort Bend ISD contract has been updated with the following paper product numbers. Just regular 8x11 paper, certain code, and just a type of papers right here that are provided by them, and it's just a lot of stuff I'm just not familiar with. So when I was debriefing with Ms. Jones about the budget and things like that, she was just making sure you use the proper codes because that's the one thing they check. Because if you don't use it properly, they'll send it right back and make you redo it. Cardstock and color paper is ordered from Office Depot. Please check the online catalog for the items and pricing. Construction paper is available from School Specialty by the package. Please view online category for pricing. We normally order 12 by 8 paper, but the other sizes are available to you if you would like to purchase them with your budget. Batteries, they're usually purchased through Office Depot. Please don't forget to buy new batteries for your flashlights. New flashlights are also available at Office Depot. Okay, I think this is just about the certain vendors that you can buy from. Saying you have to buy these certain batteries and construction paper from these certain stores. Again, I guess that's just the contract that we have with the district. So, in order to really just make sure the process is faster and smoother, you have to buy from these stores in general. Online access to vendors below is the district-wide access to our online vendor catalogs. This is the fastest and most efficient way to acquire pricing. Prices already include the discount. Again, use your website, thebusiness.officedepot.com. Billboard. Your logon is Fort ISD, and your password is welcome1. And, for School Specialty, again, it gives you a password. I guess this is for the browsing purposes. If you wish to look at these websites, these are usernames and passwords. And they also give it for lakeshore.com, Lakeshore Learning. Again, overall, just looking at this from an administrator perspective, as a team leader, I guess, also that budget is probably right up there with the important things to do and how to spend your money, I think. I think this is definitely an important process that has to be looked at and analyzed very carefully. I think one of the weaknesses I definitely, or not weaknesses, because obviously I've never been in that position before to handle a school budget, but it's definitely just the confidence of allocating it and making sure we're spending it properly because again, it's just money's always just been a iffy topic. I kind of just try to avoid the exchange of money in my hands that isn't mine. So just to avoid the liability of losing it or anything going wrong, I don't want that coming back on me. But if I want to be a successful leader, I guess this is definitely an area of weakness. I'll definitely address it. I'm kind of happy I did this observation and this point was on the topic because kind of opened my eyes as far as what I need to do as a leader to implement the strengths and weaknesses that most people don't have the ability to self-actualize or realize that they're actually weak in. doing a certain activity or things like that. But again, this program has really been great for me. Just the amount of experiences. You get to see the lens of an administrator as opposed to a teacher. Of why can't you just give me the things that I want? Why can't I just have this cheaper item that's selling it from this store? But again, then you see it from this program showing me that no, that's not how things work. As a leader, you have to follow the protocol. You have to do things this way. In order for you to be successful, you kind of have to jump through the hoops that you have to jump through in order to get the things that you want. So that's about it. This it was a good observation made. I'm really look forward to the rest of it.